From Universal Studios, Hollywood, the Samuel Goldwyn Company presents American Gladiators. Selected from a nationwide search, 20 men and women have come to Hollywood to challenge our force of American Gladiators for a single honor, to become American Gladiators champions. Now, here are your American Gladiators: Gemini, Lace, Nitro, Gold, Laser, Blaze, Thunder, Ice, Turbo, and Diamond. The host for American Gladiators, Mike Adamle, and his co-host, Larry Zonka.
Welcome once again to Universal Studios Hollywood and another edition of the American Gladiators, where our semifinal round is about to begin. Hi everyone, I'm Mike Adamle, along with NFL Hall of Famer number 39 from the Miami Dolphins, Mr. Larry Zonka.
Hi, Mike.
Larry, when this competition began, there were 20 contenders. Now there are just 8, 4 men and 4 women. And in terms of getting to know one another, well, prior to the prelims, the Gladiators and contenders didn't know anything about one another. Now there are no more secrets.
And more importantly, they even know each other's strategies. And you throw the Gladiators in there in the same kind of circumstance, and you mix that cake all up, and what it adds up to is a great competition.
A great semifinal round, and let's meet the contenders for this semifinal round.
In our women's semifinal, please welcome back Maria Nichting of Cincinnati, Ohio, a human services worker, and her opponent, Cinda Mentzer of Salt Lake City, Utah, a microbiologist. In the men's competition, this is John Adams of Oakland, California, an account representative. And his opponent, Chris Vopatek of La Jolla, California, a student at San Diego State and a bouncer.
Cinda, you told me that before this competition began, your friends had a nickname for you. They called you Toothpick. Well, no longer. You're now in the semifinals, and you hit like a bona fide Louisville slugger. Tell me if you think that the Gladiators may have underestimated you because of your size and build.
Well, since I've been here, I feel that I've been underestimated by everybody, but it's not a secret anymore that I'm tougher than I look.
Chris, I know one thing that has served you well in this competition is your go-for-it attitude. And I imagine you can trace that back to your days in high school and college where you were a very successful pole vaulter.
Yeah, and pole vaulting, you got to go for it. When you're throwing your body up in the air like that, you can't be worried about scratch knees and stuff like that. You got to go for it.
Speed, power, technique. You're also a doorman down in a San Diego nightclub, so I guess it's fair to say that you're used to dealing with big men?
Yeah, uncooperative ones, too.
Well, I guarantee you the Gladiators plan to be mighty uncooperative today. Larry?
Maria, we were talking backstage before we came out. I understand that some of your time off between shows, you went back to Cincinnati, and they kind of gave you a send-off, almost a parade.
Yeah, they had a big send-off for me before I came out here in the middle of the city, and like my fellow employees were there, and my softball team, and like teachers that from back in high school. A lot of people were there to give me support, and I really want to thank them because it's helped me. It really has. Made me nervous, but...
Yeah, you look like you're right at home here in the competition. John, your background in martial arts, marathon running, I think these things have really helped you during the course of the competition.
Oh, absolutely, Larry. These guys are incredible athletes. I intended to come down here and just kind of outpower them. From day one, it was obvious that I was going to have to change my tactic a little bit and start taking the mental route and try and outthink them. And the martial arts and also the marathon, it's a mental game, and so that definitely helped me out.
Good luck today, John. Maria? Mike?
Well, the Gladiators have that lean and mean look in their eyes, and Maria, let's hope they don't rain on your parade. Best of luck to everyone. Let the games begin. This is how our competition works on the American Gladiators. Our contenders, 2 men and 2 women, will compete against the American Gladiators in 7 very different events. Now, the contenders who amass the most points in those 7 rigorous confrontations automatically now advance to the championship final. At stake, over $150,000 in cash and prizes. We're set to go now with our first event. It's the men's assault. Here's Zonk with the rundown.
In assault, each contender has 60 seconds to hit a target with a crossbow, then a rocket launcher, a cannon, a pistol, and a final attempt with 3 softballs. 4 points can be earned if a contender crosses the finish line without getting hit.
But as always, Larry, the Gladiators will be manning the big-time weapon, a device that fires tennis balls in excess of 100 miles an hour. Shooting honors first for the Gladiators goes to Laser. He'll be up against John Adams, who advanced to the semifinal round by beating Purple Roundy. John makes his home in Oakland, California. He's a brown belt in judo and a very tough competitor. Laser wasting no time showing John who's boss, trying to pick him off early. Whoa!
Who's trying to pick who off?
Once again, the idea here to hit the target above the Gladiator, not the Gladiator himself.
What was that again, Mike?
Laser finally said, okay, John, you want to play that way? I'm going to nail you, and he did.
As you can see, John starts off. I'm not sure if John's aware of the rules here. He's trying to take Laser out. Once with a crossbow, there you can see the rocket coming through. But Laser gets the last laugh as he tags John just as he's approaching the cannon.
So a perfect opportunity for Chris Vopatek to take the early lead. He made the semifinal round by beating Wesley Keck in the quarters. Chris makes his home in La Jolla, California, an outstanding collegiate pole vaulter.
Laser doesn't look too intimidated. Oh, just a little off to the left.
Now behind that third safe zone with the cannon, yeah! Third time's the charm for Chris Vopatek.
Chris making his way over to the cannon, has it set exactly where he wants it, and tags the bottom of the bullseye.
Laser turned around and knew he was a dead man. So Chris takes the early lead. Long way to go, however, on American Gladiator. Still to come, the Joust, our wall event. But up next, women's assault. Welcome back to this semifinal edition of American Gladiators, where the women are now set to wend their way through our assault course. Gold will handle the gun for the Gladiators, and our first contender up, Maria Nichting.
Maria seems ready to dance her way through gold shots. This Cincinnati native has waltzed her way to the semis with wins over Esther Ratner and a close contest with Susan Hurst.
And she is a big star back home.
Ready?
Gold gritting her teeth every time she fires that gun up there.
Oh, close shot. Maria bobbing and weaving.
Head first slide to the third safe zone, and bang!
She picks it off.
Maria, I enjoy watching you compete. Now, with all due respect, you attack this game much like a fullback in football. You have total disregard for your body when you compete.
Well, I've been doing, sports for a long time, and I've always had the same idea, and I've always been very aggressive, and I've been in the hospital a few times, but I'm still going, so nothing's going to stop me.
I'll tell you what, I enjoy watching you compete, and I'm sure that the audience does too. And congratulations on 10 points.
Thank you.
Direct hit. Good job.
So a great start by Maria, but that shouldn't rattle Gold.
I'll get her.
As we hear some confident words from Gold, as she gets prepared to take aim at Cinda Mentzer, who has been somewhat of a surprise here with convincing wins over Samantha Bryan and Esther Ratner.
Ready?
You can hear the oohs and ahs of the audience as those tennis balls whack home.
I don't think they want to trade places with the contenders. Cinda's shot with that crossbow is wide. An honor student at Northern Arizona University, an outstanding heptathlete as well. She gets down low, but that shot was high.
Gold using that cannon like a Gatling gun.
About the only defense the contenders have is to fire directly at the Gladiator and hope to knock them off their rhythm. That may have paid off because that's exactly what Cinda did. Thumbs up. Cinda Mentzer, 7 points.
We got all kinds of nicknames for you. The toothpick, I think Mike called you the Louisville Slugger. I'm going to nickname you Annie Oakley of the assault event. Geez, what a great shot.
Thanks. This is the first time I've made it through this event. I just tried to concentrate and to watch the ball and not take my eye off of it this time. And I'm just glad I got through it.
Well, you collected yourself beautifully, took your time, got the shot, and are the recipient of 7 points. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
But Maria's bullseye is the difference in the women's score after one event. Here's Larry.
And now we're getting ready for the men's joust.
And in this event, a contender has 30 seconds to knock a gladiator off his platform, earning 10 points. Chris, who is in the lead, told us earlier how he got involved in American Gladiators.
Older brother was the guy who kind of got me going. He's the one who got me out for American Gladiators. He was the guy who always beat on me as a kid and made me as tough as I am today.
Chris's older brother actually tried out for the American Gladiators but didn't make the cut, but Chris is here. His first assignment to knock Turbo off that pedestal. Not an easy chore. Turbo a big man. And very aggressive early on. But Chris has got him going backward, and that's a shocker. Vopatek wins in about 3 seconds.
Chris getting in a lucky shot, knocking Turbo off the back of the platform.
Chris, our friends from the Marine Corps couldn't have taught you that much in that short a time period.
I don't know. They kind of pulled the fear away a little bit. But going away from Turbo, I think what it was fear and adrenaline. That's all I had.
It has worked in some events, and in some events it hasn't worked so well, but obvious that the Vopa technique in evidence here, huh?
It helped, yeah. I brought that out of the back picture.
Not to mention the Vopa techniques over there. Congratulations, Chris.
Chris, a happy guy as Turbo gathers himself up and gets back up on the platform. Now he's going to face off with John, who needs to get some points on the board.
You heard Chris make reference to our Marine drill instructors. They've been here behind the scenes working overtime to help our contenders. It helped Chris there. Doesn't help John. I don't know where he got that technique.
A little backhand flipped John right off. You can see John's going to pivot and go on the attack, but instead he pivots himself right off the platform. With the win in the joust, Chris now takes a commanding lead over John after 2 events.
This one's mine.
Ice is obviously ready for the competition. As we take a look at our men's totals, Chris with a big lead over John, and our women's totals after 1 event, Maria 10, Cinda 7.
Cinda is up first, and she thrives on competition.
And I've always loved to compete. I used to compete with my brothers in anything and everything. We'd think of things to compete for. And I feel that competition has instilled in me a desire to become a better person, to be the best that I can be.
Cinda perhaps better be the best she can be. After seeing how Ice was gritting her teeth getting up onto that platform, I think Ice has something in store for her.
Don't count Cinda Mentzer out. Despite her angular build, she's very, very tough, as Ice is finding out right here.
Well, Ice can't bludgeon her off, so now she's trying to lance her off the top of the platform.
Neither combatant giving any ground. This one's going to wind up a draw. 5 points for Cinda Mentzer. You know, Ice, they say the rematch is never as good as the initial bout, but when you met in the quarterfinals, this match was every bit as good as that one.
I thought about it, and I wanted her so bad off today. But she's tough. She's incredible. She's great.
Cinda, another draw for you, and I know that you would have liked to knock Ice off the pedestal, but again, given her size and strength, that's a tough job to do. Just earning the draw is something special.
It is, definitely. I sure tried to get her off. She's really tough.
Well, you earned the 5 points, and again, the battle was great to watch. Congratulations to both of you. Ice and Cinda.
Next up, Maria. She gets up on top of the platform preparing to take on Ice. She's got to be inspired a little bit by that performance by Cinda.
And Maria should have a bit of an advantage here because Ice just had a tough match. Let's see if she has anything in reserve.
Oh, she smacked Ice right in the face with the end of that pugil stick.
Ice doesn't budge, though.
These two are toe-to-toe and handing it out and taking it.
And Larry, we've got another draw.
We've also got a couple of tired competitors.
Maria, have you ever seen and heard Andre Agassi serve a tennis ball? You have that same grunt when you swing the pugil stick.
Now I know what it would feel like if I had to push a huge boulder over. She was not going anywhere. I was giving her everything I had, and it was like hitting a wall. I mean, she just taking it.
Well, you earned 5 points. Congratulations. That Ice, that rock you were referring to, of course, Ice, and they just keep getting tougher and tougher. Something has happened to these contenders.
This game's a lot of fun, but kids, don't try this at home.
Good advice, Ice. Congratulations to you both. Nice match.
So, 2 draws by our ladies in the Joust. Leaves Maria holding a 3-point margin after 2 events. Still to come on American Gladiators is Human Cannonball, our game of Atlasphere, and up next, the Wall. Welcome back to Universal Studios here in Hollywood, where we're getting ready for our next event, the men's wall. Mike Adamley is up atop of the 32-foot high wall. Mike, how tough does the route look from up there?
Well, Larry, it's not Mount Everest, but it is impressive. Now, for this edition, the semifinal edition of the wall, we are going to force the contenders to take a more difficult route up the face of the wall. Many times, the contenders will encounter angles that'll put their back at 45-degree angles with the studio floor, which means the forces of gravity will come into even greater play. This is the one event where the contenders hoped that Sir Isaac Newton was only part right. What goes up must come down, but not right away, not until I make it to the top.
John Adams has made it to the top in his 2 previous attempts. Now try to outdistance Gemini.
Breathing down his neck. Gemini. He'll be breathing down his neck. He's ready to be flying.
Gemini looks like he's ready to go. And Chris will be followed up the wall by Thunder as he attempts to increase his lead over John, which now stands at 17 zip after 2 events.
Larry, I get the feeling that both Thunder and Gemini, if they had their druthers, they just as soon shake the wall and shake the contenders off. Forget about climbing up after them. Both contenders given a 10-second head start. Here come the Gladiators. Here come Gemini and Thunder. Chris in the blue, John in the red. Side by side. This is going to be extremely close.
Those race right to the top. They both get there. It appeared that John was a little bit ahead of Chris. Woo!
Dead heats are only supposed to happen in track and field and horse racing, but we nearly had one here on the wall. Chris Vopatek, 32 seconds. John Adams, 31 seconds. And you reached the top almost simultaneously. How aware of John were you? Were you aware that this was a race?
Yeah, I glanced over and I saw him reaching up for the top. I knew I had to give it one more last shot, and I jumped up, grabbed that last handhold, and started pulling. I thought I had him, but he pulled it out. Way to go, John.
Looked like you got about 4 or 5 climbs left in you. Congratulations, 32 seconds. Unbelievable. You were 1 second more unbelievable, John.
Yeah, well, Chris has done exceptionally well in this event, and so I knew right from the start not only to have the Gladiator on my heels, but I knew Chris was going to be zipping up the wall pretty quickly himself.
The wall is a game of split decisions, and you had to make one there at the very end. Whether to make a lunge, you looked at the grip where it was placed and said, here I go.
Oh, absolutely. The wall, you have to attack it. The longer you're on the wall, the more tired your hands get. So you really have to attack. There's not a lot of room for thinking and debating.
John, congratulations. You're on the scoreboard. You get 10 points. Chris, you get 5, and I know we'll see a lot more toughness from both of you in the events to come.
So John just manages to outscale Chris to claim victory on the wall. After 3 events, John closes the gap on Chris. And over in our women's contest, Maria's got the lead. Earlier, she told us what chances her colleagues at work gave her to compete here.
They see me sitting behind a desk in a dress, you know, being nice and smiling. So some people were kind of negative about this, thinking, you're not going to do any good. But I'll show them.
And if Maria is a deceptive athlete, so is Cinda Mentzer. Here's a girl who's a 3.88 grade point average in microbiology. She'll be chased by Diamond. Maria will have Blaze chasing her. Ready? Cinda in the blue, Maria in the red. They're on their way. Boy, Diamond making huge strides on Cinda. I think Cinda can feel her presence. She's right there, and she's got it. Blaze has got a hold of Maria's toe. So both our contenders are pulled off.
As you get the view from Diamond's helmet cam as she hunts down Cinda, grabbing hold of that leg and swinging free and taking Cinda with her. Quite a ride. Now we see the view from Blaze's helmet as she closes in on Maria, getting a hold of that 1 foot. Right here. And pulling her off the wall.
But because Maria reached a higher level than Cinda, she'll take away 5 points and increase her lead to 8 after 3 events. In our men's battle, Chris leads John, and John Adams, the brown belt in judo, told us how competing here has rekindled his athletic spirit.
I wouldn't put myself in the category of a frustrated athlete, but it definitely has given me a chance to relive some of my past glories and to kind of get back to what it's all about once again, just getting physical.
And John Adams will try to get physical against Laser first. Chris Vopatek will be swinging against Nitro. Again, each contender given 2 swings, each successful attempt worth 5 points.
Laser stays up, Nitro comes down. As we get a view from Chris's helmet cam, as he moves in on Nitro, delivers the blow. Nitro in a valiant effort trying to stay on, but goes off.
Well, this time the contenders will switch Gladiators. This time Chris will have to swing against Laser, and John will have to try to nudge Nitro off the pedestal. Ready? Nitro standing low, Laser, that stoic pose, but both men went off.
Look at the contortions on Nitro's face just before and at impact. Tells it all. So Chris earns a perfect 10 in human cannonball and now reclaims his own margin over John after 4 events. Still to come on American Gladiators is Atlasphere. And our game of Powerball, the women's cannonball, is up next.
Our semifinal contest continues here at Universal Studios Hollywood, where Maria Nichting leads Cinda Mentzer after 3 events. The name of the game now, Human Cannonball. Gold will try to hold forth against Maria Nichting, while Cinda will try to punch Lace's ticket. Once again, each contender gets 2 swings. Ready? And here they come.
A double whammy.
Larry, I tell you, love them or hate them, the Gladiators deserve a lot of credit for guts because, watch this, just this amazing amount of force the contenders can generate here.
Cinda tucks into a ball And what a blow she delivers to Lace. Lace doesn't have a chance. She is blown clear of the platform.
Lifted off her feet. Now the contenders will try to put another charge into the Gladiators. Second swing coming up. Contenders switching Gladiators now. Cinda going against gold,
Ready?
Maria against Lace.
Both of them blown clear again.
Larry, I think you and I could stand up there together and still not be able to stop the contenders.
No, Mike, you get up there. So in a rare double-double for our women in human cannonball, the ladies' margin stays the same after 4 events. Maria by 8. Over with the men, Chris Vopatek leads John Adams as the men move on to Atlasphere.
And now, Larry, the contenders and Gladiators are going to get a real workout because this event is tough. In Atlasphere, our contenders compete simultaneously for 60 seconds in an attempt to score in any one of 4 red, white, and blue scoring pods. Each score worth 3 points each. Gladiators will attempt to defend by rolling around in their own spheres. Chris Vopatek from La Jolla, California, being locked inside of his, and now John Adams getting inside of his cage.
Turbo loading into his vehicle, one of our 2 heavyweights in the Gladiator department. There's Thunder, buttoning up, getting ready for the competition.
We go to the left, then we go to the right, then we go to the left. I can't make up my mind. I got to turn the ball around. I got to pitch this guy. I got to do this. I got to do that. I can't believe it.
Ready, red. Ready, blue. Gladiators, ready. Spotters, ready.
Larry, interesting that you call these Atlaspheres vehicles because this is much like a demolition derby of sorts.
You'll never convince me that that doesn't look like the LA freeway out there.
There's a score for John Adams as he settles into his pod. Chris picks up a goal, but now Thunder's got him pinned.
John making his move. Is he going to make it? No. He gets bashed out by the Gladiator.
Larry, there's some serious banging going on. It might be a good idea for contenders in the future to wear earplugs.
John takes advantage of the cluster, seizes the moment, and scores a goal.
Chris answers right back. It's 2-2 or 6-6. Each goal worth 3 points. And that's the way it's going to end. Nobody seems to get the Atlasphere going as well as you do, and I was noticing when you were warming up, you would just move your arm one way or your arm another way, and the ball would move.
Well, if I can use any body part, Mike, to my advantage, I'll use it. My ears, my nose, I go this way, I go that way. It doesn't matter. If I can get it to go, it'll go.
Sometimes I get the feeling that even the force of your will, if you could just stare at the ball, it'll move.
I don't know so much about that. Maybe it's just the size of my head. I don't know.
A little bit of both. Congratulations, Thunder. Nice work as always.
Take my advice, Thunder. Don't use your nose as the men roll to a tie in Atlasphere. So now our semifinal score changes to 38-21 in favor of Chris. Maria holds the lead over Cinda after 4 as the women prepare to load in.
And for Cinda and Maria, this go-round in Atlasphere should be a bit easier. They are more experienced in how to get that Atlasphere to move. They had problems in the prelims, they got a little bit better in the quarters, and they should be ready to rock and roll here. I know Ice is. She's one of the Gladiators that will defend.
Red. Ready, blue. Gladiators, ready. Spotters, ready.
As always, Larry Thompson, our referee, making sure that all is set to go. Maria settling back, working against Ice, and she's got a goal. So does Cinda.
Maria getting a little help from the Gladiator. I think Blaze bumped her in.
You take it any way you can get it, Larry. Cinda got bumped out, however, there. Ice doing a nice job of defending. Well, here's a case of the immovable object versus the irresistible force. Cinda will win out that contest.
Maria getting the edge on Blaze. That's going to wind it up as our two contenders roll to a 9-9 tie.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. Though the arms are swollen. You got that thing going, man, I'll tell you.
Once I got it going, I was fine, but Blaze was on me big time. I mean, she had me trapped over here for a while. I couldn't get away from her. I was like wanting to yell or something, but it didn't. But I scored 3, so I feel better. This is the most I've scored.
Cinda, this is a personal best for you. Prior to today's semifinal round, you were only able to get 1 goal worth 3 points, but that's a quantum leap, 3 goals.
Definitely. I used my head this time to kind of beat against the wall.
Oh, literally then, huh?
Yes. So I just tried my best, and it paid off, luckily. So.
For you, it has to take every inch of strength and power. It's more than just your legs, is it not?
I feel like a lightweight in this thing. It's really hard to get it going.
Well, you were no lightweight today. 3 goals worth 9 points, a terrific effort by both you, Cinda, and you, Maria. And we'll be back with more of the American Gladiators right after this.
Yes, the ladies roll to a tie in Atlasphere. And now after 5 events, Maria maintains her margin over Cinda. The Eliminator is still to come on American Gladiators. But up next is our game of Powerball.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood and more of the American Gladiators. And we are now ready to play men's Powerball.
Chris leads John after 5 events as they prepare to take on Nitro, Laser, and Gemini in Powerball. Our 45-second contest of speed and endurance, where our contenders try to score in any of 5 scoring cylinders.
Ready?
Right off the bat, Chris with the quick scores.
And gets another. Now he's got the Gladiators' attention.
Let him out, Nitro, let him out.
Yep, they've made the Dragons angry. Oh. Chris doesn't get very far trying to plow through that double team.
Out of bounds. No score, red.
Tell you, the thing that makes the contenders so vulnerable is when they're holding that ball and trying to score, they really can't defend themselves. They're at the mercy of the Gladiators.
No score.
A very physical game of Powerball. And our Gladiators feeling their oats. As we see Chris trying to score and making the score, does he pay the price? And then John going through the double team. He gets to eat a little carpet on that one too.
Chris ate his share as well, but he did win this Powerball matchup 4-0, and increases his lead over John after 6 events, 42-21. Maria leads our women's semifinals. They prepare to take on gold, diamond, and ice in women's Powerball. Our Gladiators ready to strut their stuff.
Our gang of blonde Gladiators lines up. Pretty impressive lineup.
And Cinda and Maria both with the fresh legs score right off the bat.
Stay down. Score blue.
And now they're paying the price.
This game wears on you after about 15 seconds. Maria with another goal. Cinda working one-on-one against Diamond, so she scores again. Now they're starting to get leg weary.
As that clock runs out, Cinda looking a little concerned. Maria had pretty much of a smile on her face through the competition, but she looks weary now.
things, but one thing that is not, Cinda, is fair. Your effort out there deserved more than 3 goals worth 6 points.
I think so. All I saw was ice and gold all over the place. But I just gave it my best. Got a few in.
You're down by 5 seconds going into the Eliminator, and always we know you'll give us a good show. Maria, you were able to distance yourself a little bit from Cinda, and you showed us a move I haven't seen before. I like this.
Well, I owe every point that I made to my boyfriend. This week, we practiced this the whole time. Practicing keeping my head up and my rear end down and looking for where I want to go and faking and not trying to plow into everybody all the time. It helped.
5 seconds, you need to not give up to Cinda.
You got it. I'm going to give it my all, but it's going to be tough. Let's go.
And we're going to have that Eliminator final when American Gladiators continues after this.
A high-scoring affair in women's Powerball helps Maria to increase her lead over Cinda after 6 events. Up next, our final event, the Eliminator.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood, where it all comes down to the Eliminator.
Mike, both contenders start at the treadmill and must run against the belts in an effort to reach the top. Once there, they must use a specially designed hand bike to work their way across the 30-foot span. Then across the balance beam, where the Gladiators throw weighted blocking pads at the contenders.
And if they're lucky enough to make it this far, they have to work their way up a 20-foot cargo net. And then the fun part, a wild ride down a zip line, which will carry the contenders over the entire length of the arena floor. Then a final straightaway, where the contenders will make like Jackie Joyner-Kersee, going over a set of hurdles before the final choice, which door to take. Behind 3 of those doors are American Gladiators, all determined to stop the contenders from crossing the finish line.
And Maria leads Cinda by 10 coming in, meaning that Cinda will have to win the Eliminator by 5 seconds to advance. Keep in mind that the women have 75 seconds to finish, with each second left on the clock worth 2 points.
And Larry, penalty points are subtracted for each fall along the way. Ready? Loser goes home, winner faces Trish Tillotson in the final. Up the ramp they go, side by side, across in the hand bike. Pumping, straining, they're at the platform, now across the balance beam.
Cinda falls a little bit from the balance beam and eats a little bit of the mat, but comes right back up on her feet.
Cinda now with the slight edge. Remember, to advance to the final, Cinda needs to win by more than 5 seconds.
Cinda will cross first. She needs to beat Maria by 5 seconds. Here comes Maria. And no, Maria finishes in time, 46 seconds to Cinda's 42. So Maria will advance to the final.
I don't think a competition could have come any closer than it did between Maria and Cinda. Cinda, you needed to win by 5 seconds going into this Eliminator final. You won by 4 seconds. You fell 2 points short in the overall total, and it's really a shame because if anybody deserves to go on, it's certainly you in terms of just your athletic skill and your ability to handle adversity.
Well, thanks a lot, Mike. I just gave it my best. I just gave everything I had, and it just wasn't enough. Came close, but...
Have you learned anything about yourself as an athlete and as a person on this show, do you think?
Well, going up against people like Ice, I think I learned that I'm really not afraid of too many things. Because if I can go against her and I can look her in the eye, then I think I'm pretty tough.
Well, I think you're pretty tough. Cindy, not only did you look Ice in the eye, you looked us all in the eye, too, and what we saw was one heck of a competitor, one heck of a person. Congratulations. Thanks for being with us. And no longer will they call you Toothpick. You are a real slugger. Maria, I know you care a great deal about that woman over there. Just your thoughts against competing against Cinda.
She's an exceptional athlete, and I knew I either had to stay with her or stay ahead of her to win because she never slacks off. She doesn't seem to get tired. So, like she proved in the Eliminator, so I knew I had to stay a step ahead. And luckily, I did that today.
Congratulations, Maria. You're going on to the finals. Great job, Maria Nichting.
Well, Maria Nichting sets a new scoring record in advancing to our final round. And over in the men's, Chris leads John by a commanding 21 points in our semifinal. So John will have to overcome a 10.5-second handicap to advance against Chris.
And Larry, the men have 60 seconds to complete the Eliminator. Winner moves on to face Rico Costantino in the final. Chris in the blue, John in the red.
John making short work of that hand bike. Chris having a little trouble. Oh! Chris getting knocked off. Takes a real spill. Has a little trouble getting back up onto the platform. In the meantime, John's opened quite a lead.
Remember, Chris assessed a 5-point penalty because of that spill. One final battle for John Adams, and that's in the person of Gemini. Here comes Chris as John finishes. And at least a bit of good fortune for Chris at the end as he chooses the open lane. But John wins it in a final time of 45 seconds. Chris finishes in 53.
Chris, coming into this, you were up in points. It was a tough situation in the Eliminator. You fell off the balance beam, cost you 5 points there, 5 seconds there. As a result of that, it ended up in a tie, but because of the faster Eliminator time, of course, John's going to come out the winner. But, well, I guess the point is you just barely lost it.
Yeah, I gave my all. That's all I wanted to do. He won it. He was a good man. Congratulations.
Well, you certainly were fun to watch in the competition, and you did a great job. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for a great competitor? John, congratulations. You pulled it out of the hat. You're in the finals. What were you thinking about going into this Eliminator? Was there some facet of it that had you a little more worried than another?
Actually, I didn't have too much hope for the overall competition, but I did want to give Chris a good run for the money in the Eliminator. It's fortunate that for me that I came through all right, and wish Chris the best of luck. He really pushed me.
I like the way you came from behind and hung in there and won it. That's what American Gladiators is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for John as he goes into our final competition.
So hats off to the account executive from Oakland, California. Congratulations to our contenders going on to the final round. Here's a preview of some of the action you'll be seeing next week.
Next week, it's final round competition as 4 contenders take another step toward becoming American Gladiators champions. Trish Tillotson, Rico Costantino, Maria Nichting, John Adams. Watch as they take on Diamond, Gemini, Ice, Thunder, and the rest of the American Gladiators.